The Midland LXT 600 two-way radios are perfect for the outdoor enthusiast. If you're playing in the outdoors, be sure and have your Midland two-way radios by your side. The LXT 600 has up to a 30-mile communication range with 36 channels of crisp and clear communication to choose from, along with NOAA weather alerts with weather scan, silent operation, and 3 levels of hands-free operation. The LXT 600 also has dual power options using Midland's rechargeable battery pack or 3 AAA batteries. The LXT 600 value pack comes with 2 radios, belt clips, 2 rechargeable battery packs, AC adapter, a desktop charger, and an unbeatable 3-year warranty. With multiple options to choose from, go with the proven leader, Midland. If you're in the market for two-way radios, take a look at the industry leader in wireless communications. The Midland GXT 1050 two-way radios are perfect for the everyday user. If you're in the outdoors, Midland's two-way radios are there to suit your needs. Midland's industry-leading two-way radios combine NOAA weather alerts with weather scan, an emergency SOS siren, 15 call alerts, and dynamic HD audio. If you're a nature enthusiast and want to be undetected in the woods, the GXT 1050 has silent operation, whisper mode, along with 9 levels of EVOX hands-free operation, and comes in a mossy oak breakup infinity camouflage. Midland's GXT 1050 two-way radios are lightweight, durable, and JIS4 waterproof, allowing you to be out in any weather conditions. The GXT 1050 has up to a 36-mile communication range, with 50 channels of crisp and clear communication to choose from, along with 142 privacy codes to help you block other conversations. Get out faster and stay out longer with Midland's two-way radios. The GXT 1050 value pack comes with 2 radios, a pair of headsets, AC-DC adapter, desktop charger, and 2 batteries. Midland's GXT 1050 two-way radios also come with an unbeatable 3-year warranty. For better safety and communication in the outdoors, go with a proven leader, Midland.
Today I'd like to do a video on the Baofeng BF F8 HP dual band VHF UHF analog portable two-way radio. This one's being billed by Baofeng as the most powerful one yet, and that's because it's the highest powered Baofeng with a high output of 8 watts. And so the best thing about it is that it's completely backward compatible with accessories and everything with the Baofeng UV5R, which is a very popular radio. You've seen this in some of my other videos, whether it be my bug out bag, get home bag. I'm usually including this one in it due to the high reviews that have it and the low price. But there are some noticeable differences. You'll see that the body is almost identical in the form factor and the design of it. But some differences that you'll notice is the much improved antenna. So this is using a high gain antenna on the BF F8 HP. The previous Baofengs was using a dummy load antenna, and since these are backward compatible, you could put this antenna on this one and vice versa, and you're going to be noticing a noticeable difference in the antenna performance by putting it on the older version. You also notice that the battery is going to be a little bit larger. So you have a 2,000 milliamp hour battery on the new model. The previous ones were using more like a 1,500 battery. Some other improvements with the updated model is you have a completely rewritten user manual. And this is kind of big because the previous one kind of had a weak manual with it. And I think it's having a good manual is good. It's completely rewritten. It's nice and detailed, many pages on it. And I think it's a good thing to have this because most of the time when we consider using these radios, a lot of the times we're with the intent that it's going to be used in an emergency situation. Maybe you're not going to have internet to download the manual, so having a nice printed out one will help aid in using the radio and also programming it. And so a couple other things, since it's backward compatible with the previous model, you're going to be able to use the same chargers, the same programming cable, same batteries, you name it, it's backward compatible, so it works just great. And then I guess one last perk with it is these radios I believe are made in China, although you have sales and tech support based in the US through baofengtech.com, which is always nice. So let's get right down to this video featuring the Baofeng BF F8 HP. Again, this is a dual band radio, so you're going to have the 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands. And so the 2 meter is going to be a VHF, and that's going to be 144 to 148 megahertz. UHF, the 70 centimeter band, is 420 to 450. You have a wider frequency range when you program the radio, so you're going to need the programming cable for that. This is not included with the radio, but I feel it's a must-have accessory. It's a lot easier to program these radios. As you know, they're kind of a pain in the butt to do with just the keypad, but so is doing anything on a computer with the command line terminal. It kind of sucks. So you're going to want to use the GUI. Same thing with these radios. Just get the programming cable and then use the Chirp software or the Baofeng software. By the way, this is the U.S. Amateur Radio Bands PDF that you could print off on their website. And again, you're going to need to have a license if you're going to transmit on this radio. Here's the push to talk button. We'll go into this a little bit more details later. But if you don't have your ham radio license, for example, this makes a great radio to be used as a scanner. Right now I have mine programmed in channel mode, and it's being used more as a scanner, so going through various channels that I have programmed in there.
27225.
Both of these bands are very active with a good amount of space, with repeaters and well-monitored simplex calling frequencies. And these will work for whatever grade you have as far as your ham radio license goes, whether you have extra, advanced, general, and technician. Those are labeled here on the side. The main difference between these two radios is that with the BF F8 HP, it's going to be around twice the price of the very popular and inexpensive UV5R radio. And again, the main difference is there's going to be the much better antenna on this one. You're also going to get a better battery at 2,000 milliamp hours, so about a 25% difference in the battery. And then you're going to get that high output of 8 watts. And of course, there's some firmware changes on it, some bug fixes, things like that, little tweaks that that existed in this radio that no longer exist in this one. And so I imagine that a popular question is going to be, is that extra 3 watts going to gain you any range? And I find that with range, that's going to be more due with the antenna and your height, so above average terrain. But again, this one has a much better antenna on it. And so I think that for radios, for example, if you had this one and you're on the fringe of getting to a specific repeater, but having little problems with it, that extra 3 watts might give you that little boost to actually reach it. And also keep in mind, you're going to have that better antenna on it too. From the testing on the VHF band, that's going to be around more like 7.5 to 8 watts, and then it's going to drop down to 6 watts for UHF, and that's using like a watt meter that you could get on Amazon or something like that. But when you're talking that extra 3 watts, it's not actually kind of doubling the signal strength on it. So it kind of follows I think it follows the laws of physics, basically inverse square law. So you'd have to increase the power by 4 times to go up a single S unit. So to get from that S5 signal all the way up to S6, you're going to have to go to 20 watts, which is going to be a very large battery then. And that's just not the case with that one. So I think as far as range goes, that's going to be more antenna, where your height is, and you might get that extra little boost, but not a full signal step up compared to the S5 signal. So at high elevations and complete free line of sight, for example, say you're between 2 mountaintops with the 2 radios, you'll probably notice an improvement with the updated version of maybe 35–40%. At ground level, it probably won't be as noticeable. Maybe if you're on the fringe of getting to a specific repeater, you might actually get it a little bit better with the updated model. But some of that might also be due to the antenna. Again, this radio can make a nice little scanner. You could have it on the charging dock. This is actually using the previous version charging dock, but since it's backward compatible, it works really great for that. For example, you could put it into standby mode and have it activated with DTMF tones, which would work really great to use this radio for a fire department pager, for example. Right now, I have mine defaulted to channel mode instead of frequency mode. If you switch here, switch to frequency. Channel mode, and I did that using the programming cable. Again, you want to pick up that programming cable. It's a lot easier to do. And what I did is what I'm actually receiving here, for example, right now it's a NOAA 7, but I programmed the transmit button to actually use this frequency here, 467.562, which is actually a frequency used with a very common frequency with walkie-talkie radios. Like if you get the little 2 radios at the store, that's going to be one of the frequencies that's used with that. And that's just for a precaution for me, just in case my kid, for example, were to grab this and press the button on there. Again, you're not going to want to press that button unless you have your ham radio license. But you still can use this for other things. For example, let's press over here. You could go into FM radio mode just like you would in your car, for example. It has a really nice FM radio capabilities here. Again, really nice long antenna, helps to add to that, I believe. Again, if you want to, I don't know, let's go to
93388. For their family.
Oh, zero. Yeah, zero.
We agree with zero, which is why Washington has a statewide program designed to eliminate
Zero.
Go back to that station. So there you go. It's really, really nice. Let's go back to let's go to channel. Now, if you want to put it a little too loud, let's put it into scan mode. So as you can see, the buttons are nice and improved compared to the previous model, which were all kind of white buttons with very small text there. You can see that the text is a lot larger here, and they made it more of a blue font, which helps with visibility. Again, this is backlit too, which is nice. Put it into scan mode, hold that down. It's going to start scanning the various things. Right now I have this programmed for various channels local to my region.
Northwest 5 to 15 early Thursday evening. A few showers ending Thursday
So a little close up of the button so you can see that there.
South of midnight.
Scanning stop.
Okay, and you can navigate through the different buttons, the channels, the programmed stations right now. I have has 128 memory stations programmable. Right now I have around 27 or so. I think it's kind of funny when you do it. It actually reads. It's not going to read 26. It's going to say 26.
2 5 2.
So it only really sounds good when you're on single digits.
Thursday, West Coast, Vancouver.
Again, you have the flashlight, which is, let's see if I can.
Southeast 10 to 20 knots, veering to southwest 5 to 15 early Thursday.
There you go.
Afternoon into northwest 10 to 15.
Press it again.
Thursday evening.
Okay, so nice little flashlight there. Sometimes it might be handy, and then you can switch to having it selected on the top one to the bottom one there.
their danger.
Just in case you're wondering, this radio is not waterproof, so don't put it under water like that. Don't give it a bath. Don't drop it in the lake. It's going to break. But it will handle, for example, if you're outside and it's raining and you're using this, it'll handle that kind of sprinkle. So it prefers showers, not baths. So don't submerge it. Regarding certification, the BF-F8 HP has not been FCC Part 90 certified. Does that mean the radio is illegal to use? Nope. Part 90 only applies to commercial use, not for amateur use. I think the only Part 90 certified and compliant Baofeng is the UV82C. But again, this is intended to be used for amateur use and not for commercial. So if you're watching a YouTube video on this, you're probably good to go. All right, really quickly, I just want to show you a quick close-up of both radios. Again, this is the BF-F8 HP with the older model, the UV5R, just so you can see the differences between it. On the front here, not a lot of differences. You will notice that the speaker kind of has a different layout here. This is all plastic. In the back here, you kind of see it has like this metal grate back there. I'm not really sure which one I prefer. I do like the buttons a lot better on the updated version. Not only do you have this blue text, which is a lot larger here, I also think that the texture of it overall is kind of has a little stickier. This one's very smooth. I find that I am able to access everything a lot easier with the updated version of it. So that's nice. Other than that, everything looks pretty similar there. Over on this side, pretty similar layout here. The push to talk button on this one, I think it has a little extra kind of jimping on there, which helps, I think, when you're not directly looking at it. For example, this one's very smooth, and over this one you kind of have, I don't know if I could capture it on camera, but you have a little bit of texture that helps you identify it a little bit easier, which I think I probably prefer on the older model. But again, it's very, very similar. On the second side here, this is where you're actually going to put your programming cable and your headset or anything like that. These look almost identical that you see there. Again, we'll take a closer look at the battery later. I have the pocket clip or the clip attached on this one, not yet on this one. And then on the top here, we're going to notice that it almost looks identical. So basically, as you have your, turning it on, your volume control here, you have your little flashlight, and then this is your antenna. I'm very happy that they included an updated manual. I think that's very handy to have, having a hard copy available just in case you're not able to download a manual or anything like that online. Having that hard copy is really nice. And from what I've been reading, it looks pretty accurate too, so it'll allow you to do the manual programming. But even with that said, I still find that using the programming cable is the way to go with this. It's just going to be a lot easier and quicker, so you're just going to insert it like that. Again, you have to buy the programming cable separately, but it's the same one that you've used with your previous Baofengs as well. And then you could use the Baofeng software as well as the Chirp software. Here's a look at the Baofeng software. Again, you could download this by going to Baofeng's website. It's a very simple software. Basically, when you plug in the programming cable, it's going to install some drivers for that particular cable, and then you should be able to recognize the device. Just plug in one end to a USB port, the other end into your device, and then you should be able to program it. So for those of you that may have said, well, I'm trying to, the UHF bands, for example, are just 440 to 500. How do I get the advertised limit of 400 to 550, 520? And that's using the programming cable. So it's really nice to have that. So basically, let's just go up here to program. Let's go read from radio, and let's do a little read over here. We're going to be reading all the data blocks that you see in there. While this is happening, you're going to see the green light on the front face of your the Baofeng BF F8 HP kind of blinking a little bit as it's reading. Okay, so we got that red. Let's take a look at all the channel information. So just go up to this little icon here. It's going to give you all the channel information. Again, I have around 27 channels programmed. As you can see, what I'm receiving here is, for example, this is the NOAA bands that you have here. I have the channel names named here on the far right, which is very convenient to have. I have all of the transmit frequencies programmed to the same frequency, just kind of as a safety precaution, since I've been using this one as more of a scanner. But you're able to program everything very simply. Just click each cell, kind of like a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Again, you'll see that the transmit power I have is on low, so just at 1 watt then. And this is kind of just how I have it set up at this point. So everything's very easy to program here. You're going to, on the channel name, you're going to have 6 digits, I guess, so alphanumeric digits that you have there. You're going to save that if you change it. And then what you could do is just program it to the actual device by going to write to radio. It's really that simple. And then once you get your this kind of set up, since it's backward compatible with the previous Baofengs that you had, you could just program all of them the same way, using the same kind of data and the memory that you have programmed. So it's really, really convenient to use. The Chirp software is also available for the BF F8 HP. This is a very popular software that a lot of people use. I find that I prefer using the Baofeng one just because I like having the frequency, the receive and the transmit kind of close to each other. But this just has everything kind of the columns in a little bit different order. So you can see the names over here located. You have the receive frequency programmed here. I have the power over here. Here's the offset. So it's just a little bit different setup, but it does support the Baofeng BF F8 HP, which is nice. Again, you could just download from radio, upload to radio. So very similar functionality in both softwares. For those of you wondering, the signal meter doesn't really show the actual strength of the RX signal, so it's always going to, while it looks kind of like a cell phone signal there, it's always going to show those 4 to 5 bars no matter what, so you can't really tell how clear the signal is. So basically you're going to need an S meter to portray the actual signal strength. But some of the other things over here are accurate, so like the battery, what memory it is, the output, the low, things like that. Just that little signal meter is not really dynamic. Regarding charge time, if you have a completely drained battery, it's going to take around 8 hours to completely charge it using the charging dock. So just set it there overnight. When you wake up the next morning, it'll be completely charged. The light will turn green on you. This is actually the charger for the updated model. But since it's completely backward compatible with all the accessories for the UV5R, you can actually use the larger battery. It's actually, I think Baofeng has a 3800 milliamp hour battery. It's a little bit larger. It's going to stretch down below like that and give you a very long battery life. They also have a battery pack that you could actually use AA batteries on the back of there. So for example, for those of us that want to include this in with like a bug out bag, get home bag, and you have multiple charging capabilities like crank charger or even a solar panel, you could use those to charge those AA batteries and then use that in the battery pack here. So very convenient. That backward compatibility is nice. You might want to do that, for example, because you don't want to have the charging dock with you. Maybe you won't have a wall outlet available and want to have a different power source to be able to keep this thing powered up. And so that's everything regarding the charging capabilities. As I mentioned, the updated user manual is a very nice addition with this particular model, and from what I've read, you know, it's pretty well written. I find a couple little errors here and there, just kind of typo errors, but there was kind of a funny one that I noticed with this particular one. So you open up the battery pack here, you have your battery over here, your lithium. This is actually a 2100 milliamp hour one, but when you look in the back here, Baofeng's kind of the different name for Baofeng. But I was like, what is a Pro Table two-way radio? Oh, portable. So there's still a couple little kinks there on some spelling things. I thought that one was kind of funny because I was like, what the heck is a Pro Table? So portable two-way radio. One of the best things about this new version of the Baofeng is the much improved antenna. Again, it's a high gain antenna, not a dummy load like the previous version. The previous version is kind of a stumpy look there. They are backward compatible, so if you wanted to interchange them, you can. Same kind of connection there, but you're getting additional length and just an overall better antenna. Usually you're going to spend around 10 to 20 bucks to get a better antenna in general. So with this one, it's actually included with the radio. So you're having around 6.5 inches there versus a little over 4.5 for you metric guys. Let's not forget you. So again, your antenna length is going to be just the quality of your antenna, the length of it is going to be a really important factor with it. I see guys having antennas going all throughout their house and on their porch and everything. So over here we have around 16.5 centimeters versus maybe around 12 centimeters or so. So again, it's just a much improved antenna. If you're familiar with the site miclore.com, they did some very thorough testing of this antenna and kind of reiterated it. It's just a much better antenna. So with the 8 watts, if you're on their fringes, getting to certain repeaters, that extra watts might help, but I think the antenna will help even more. That's going to do it for this particular video. I tried to go through everything as fast as I could within a reasonable amount of time, but there's still so much that I could cover regarding this radio. But in summary, from what I've covered so far, I think this radio would make a great starter radio. It's an affordable introductory price for a radio. It's still less than $100. It's going to be twice as much as the old version of it, but I think with the old version, you'd have to upgrade several things on it, the antenna, the battery, the wattage to kind of get it to the state of this one, and with some of the firmware and bug fixes those are also nice improvements. Also, you get the manual over here. You don't really have to change any of your accessories that you used with your previous model, so everything's still going to work on that. The programming cable, it's Chirp compatible with the free download on that. So all in all, it's pretty good. Programming software is free. Batteries are cheap. The AA case battery pack is cheap. The antennas are cheap and plentiful. So I think it'd make a good introductory radio for those interested in ham. Also for those that just want to have maybe a scanner available. I think you could program it that way to go into channel mode and just be a good scanner radio. I think maybe the ham purist will probably want to go with something, probably maybe even a different brand or a higher grade model, but and I think they're willing to pay you the price for that. But for those of you, for example, if you're making a lot of bug out bags, a lot of emergency backpacks, you want to include this kind of style of radio in here, I think this is still at an affordable price where you could have multiple versions of it. I think a lot of people stock up on knives, get 3 knives. I think it might be better to have 1 knife and 3 radios. I think you could get a lot of use out of these. And this is seems to be a nice, it's not just a rebranding of the previous generation. I think it's just an upgraded radio version. So, so far during my testing, so far so good. Baofeng was kind enough to send me this radio. They probably noticed, hey, saw you had the previous model and a lot of your kits. Have you seen the new one? So I've been playing with this new one for a while now, and so far so good. But I find that product testing is kind of like dating. The first couple months, things are just going great. Not seeing any kind of faults. But after a year or more, that's when you're starting to really notice things. So with dating, maybe you start sharing a bathroom, and that's when things are going to start being identified. So what I like to do is I'd actually like to give. The Baofeng was kind enough to send this one to me. I'd like to send this one to you now, so in a little flash giveaway on this particular video. So it's going to be really easy. All you have to do is be a subscriber to my channel and then just leave a comment below in the comments section. And what I'd like is just list a YouTube channel that happens to do videos. It doesn't have to focus on it, but maybe they do videos on ham radio or even on Baofeng. So list the channel name and then list the video title that you like from their channel. So for example, one of the channels I really like is Survival Tech Nord, and he does a lot of different ham radio videos, very high quality ones, and there's so many different titles. So I would just list, okay, Survival Tech Nord, and here's the video I really like. And so after 72 hours, I'm going to go through all the comments, and I'll go through all those videos, and then I'll just select a winner on the one that I like the best. And then in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the same radio, since I already buy a lot of Baofeng radios, I'm going to buy this one now and do some more extended testing. So, and I'll check back in with you guys after a year's time or so to see, do I want to put a ring on it, or do I just want to be friends and just date? So what I'll do for that follow-up videos, then I'll take all those comments that are listed below, and I'm going to include all of those in the description box of the follow-up video that has more detailed information regarding this particular radio. So I thought that'd be a fun little giveaway. So again, be a subscriber to the channel, list the YouTube channel name, for example, Survival Tech Nord or whoever else, and then list the video title that you really like from their channel that focuses on ham radio or on Baofeng, and then you can win this particular radio. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video featuring the Baofeng BF-F8 HP dual band VHF UHF analog portable two-way radio. Please feel free to leave any kind of comments below in the comments section regarding this particular video and radio. If you're watching this particular video within 72 hours of its posting, make sure you enter the contest by just being a subscriber to my channel and leaving a comment below in the comments section with a YouTube channel that focuses on radios or does radio videos, and then just list one of their videos that you really like, and then 72 hours from now I'll be announcing a winner for those. And you'll receive this particular radio with all the accessories that are included, and I'll also make sure that I include a programming cable to make your life much easier. So again, leave your comments below in the comments section. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this one, and stay tuned for more videos for product reviews and various preparedness things. Again, special thanks to Baofeng. Thanks for supporting my channel, and now it's time to support you, the viewers out there. So see you guys next time.
If you're interested in buying one of these products, links to all the products mentioned in this video are in the description down below. If you like and found this video helpful, don't forget to give a like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching.